Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a chilling dive into one of Tampa's most haunting mysteries. Have you ever wondered what could drive someone to take the life of an innocent child? Today we're going back in time to uncover the tragic tale of Matthew Allred, a little boy who vanished without a trace over 50 years ago. Let me tell you, his story will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about human nature and the darkness that can lurk just beneath the surface. Subscribe now if you're ready for an emotional journey through one family's nightmare. It was January 16th, 1974, a chilly winter day in the small town of Claremelle City. The sun was setting early on this cloudy evening as 3-year-old Matthew Allred played happily in his backyard with his sister Cindy. But what happened next would change their lives forever. While most children were inside by now, preparing for bed, young Matthew was still out playing. That's when he disappeared without a trace, leaving behind only a few toys and the heartbroken cries of his family. Imagine being a parent on that fateful night. The panic, the fear, the desperate search through every nook and cranny of your home and neighborhood. The Allred family frantically combed their small town for any sign of Matthew. They scoured local parks, asked neighbors, even flagged down passing police officers to report their little boy missing. But as hours turned into days, and days into weeks, there was still no sign of the cheerful blonde child. The community rallied around the Allreds in those early days. People searched, offered support, and prayed for Matthew's safe return. But as time went on, that initial wave of hope began to fade. The search parties dwindled, and the news headlines moved on to other stories. Yet for Vernon and Virginia Allred, their son was still very much alive inside their hearts. Theories started to surface in those early days. Had Matthew wandered off into a nearby wooded area? Was he kidnapped by someone with ill intentions? One of the most prominent leads came from a child who reported seeing Matthew try to flag down an ice cream truck. But when that boy was found and questioned, it turned out it wasn't little Matthew at all. As weeks became months and then years went by, the case grew cold. The Allreds moved away to Connecticut in 1980, hoping to escape the painful memories of their hometown. Yet no matter how far they traveled or how much time passed, the void left behind by Matthew's absence never truly closed. Then came January 16th, 1993, exactly 19 years after he vanished. That morning brought a glimmer of hope and an answer to one of life's most haunting questions: what really happened to little Matthew Allred? His remains were discovered on the property of their neighbor, Ronaldo Paez. Can you imagine the shock and grief that must have washed over Vernon and Virginia when they received this news all these years later? The mystery was solved in a sense, but at what price? What could possibly drive someone to take such a precious life? Was it an accident gone wrong or something far more sinister? And if Ronaldo Paez was involved, did his wife Mary know as well? These questions haunted the Allred family and the entire community for decades. The discovery of Matthew's remains brought closure in one sense. They finally knew what had become of their beloved little boy. But it also raised even darker questions about the fate that awaited him all those years ago. The Paez family, once seen as friendly neighbors, now stood accused of harboring a terrible secret. For Cindy Allred, growing up without her brother must have been incredibly difficult, filled with moments of longing and guilt. And for little Ralph Samuel, born just 8 months after Matthew's disappearance, there was never the chance to know his big brother. Yet even in their darkest hours, Vernon and Virginia refused to give up hope. They held on to a dream that someday, somehow, they might find answers or perhaps even see Matthew himself return as an adult, seeking information about his past. But as years turned into decades, that hope began to fade. In 1993, the family finally laid their beloved son to rest with a memorial service. A bronze casting of those cherished cowboy boots served as a poignant reminder of the joyful child who was taken too soon. Today, we remember Matthew Allred not just as a missing person case, but as a human being, full of laughter and innocence, loved by his family and friends. And while justice may never truly be served in this tragic tale, perhaps sharing his story can help prevent other families from enduring such heartbreak. So let's take a moment to honor Matthew Allred and all those who have been lost under mysterious circumstances. Remember him as the smiling blonde boy with the cowboy boots, who whose disappearance still leaves us asking, what would you do if it was your child? Thank you for joining me on this journey through one of Tampa's most haunting mysteries. If you found today's story compelling, please like and share to keep these important conversations going. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the strange and unsettling world of unsolved cases. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning what lies beneath the surface of our communities and beyond.